Today we're gonna seize the day. We got some crazy games to play today. Game Away!
Hey everybody, it's Casey from Game Away, here to bring you my review for Bit.Trip Complete, a collection of games from the Bit.Trip series that offer an incredibly unique and surreal journey through catchy music, challenging gameplay, and an experience like no other rhythm action game in the market today. The Bit.Trip series, developed by Gaijin Games, spans a series of 6 games featuring the character Commander video, and were originally available for download on the Wii and later brought to the PC as well. The bundle we're looking at today, Bit.Trip Complete, for the Wii, contains all of the games, and comes with a soundtrack featuring nearly all of the songs in the collection as well. It's by far the best deal you can grab when it comes to getting all of the games in one place. Here's a quick summary of what these games offer. Bit.Trip Beat, the first of the series, is a Pong-inspired game where the objective is to try and hit every beat that comes your way. Seems easy at first, right? You've played Pong before, you know Pong better than you know your parents. Well, the game ramps up the intensity for you at an incredible level and will gladly leave you in the dust if you aren't ready to fight back. If you get pretty good, you can rack up multiple hits to gain combos and score multipliers, but miss too many and you'll end up in the nether, and missing too many in there is game over. Bit.Trip Core is different. You are trapped in the middle of the screen as the beats fly into the area from all sides. The only option you have is to fire lasers in the 4 cardinal directions that hit the beats before they whiz by, and hope your rhythm skills and your coordination are up to the challenge. And believe me, they won't be, not at first. Bit.Trip Void puts you in the non-existent shoes of a big blobby void, where the goal is to move around freely and collect the black dots that fly into the screen while avoiding the white dots that zoom by. As you collect dots, you grow bigger, and when you get big enough, you can press A to return to normal size and cash in some points. Touch one white dot and you'll lose your size. Miss too many black dots or hit too many white dots and you'll be clicking the restart button. Either that or jamming the controller in your mouth and biting down. Bit.Trip Runner, the most popular in the series, takes the genre of automatic runner and stretches the limits of its potential. You take direct control of Commander video as you jump, slide, kick, and block everything that comes your way. The sequences you face become increasingly complicated, and only your rhythm and reflexes are going to help you get past the later levels. Bit.Trip Fate is a very literal take of the on-rail shooter genre. You'll shoot hordes of enemies, collect power-ups, and defeat difficult bosses, all while dodging a variety of sweat-inducing bullet hell. Bit.Trip Flux, the final game in the series, returns to the roots of Bit.Trip Beat. The sequences get even more complicated, and not only will you be hitting beats, but you'll also be dodging a few of them as well. Be sure to bring an extra pair of pants. All of the games featured in Bit.Trip Complete also come with unlockable challenges and different difficulty modes as well, in case you wanted to make the game slightly more or less crap-inducing. The graphics in the series have an incredibly retro-inspired aesthetic throughout all of the games. The gameplay assets you manipulate usually look blocky and made with pixels. When the game isn't trying to do that in the foreground, it's trying to trip acid in the background by throwing all sorts of crazy visual flair at your face. All of the visual styles mesh fairly well together and lend some of the sequences to look hypnotic and trance-like. Even the incoming beat patterns can become strangely trippy and mesmerizing to look at. You may even be so distracted by how cool the background and the gameplay can appear that you'll end up failing while your eyes struggle to maintain concentration. It feels like the developers did this on purpose to test your focus and your limits, so take that criticism as you want to take it. The gameplay of the Bit.Trip series is by far one of the most engaging features. To define it in one phrase, at the very least, you could say that it doesn't try to hold your hand. Every game in the entire series, once you get past the beginnings where the developers have a sense of mercy and let you figure out the controls, will have plenty of sequences that will make you sweat blood. In games like Bit.Trip Core, one of the most difficult modes, is hard for your brain to even process what is taking place in front of you. It can be intimidating to follow what's on screen even when you're not in the driver's seat. However, the game isn't stupid or obnoxious with its difficulty. It's not like it's going to load up a level, vomit beats and obstacles all over the screen and laugh at you. Most of the levels in the series will involve specific patterns and algorithms within the chaos, and picking up on them fast while acting on instinct can save you when the screen decides to lose its mind. This is especially helpful when the game starts to pick up speed, and your estimation on what will happen next may be the only thing that saves you. If you don't actively try and pick up on what the game is trying to show you, the only pattern you'll be noticing is how many game over screens you'll be looking at. When you finally do manage to see behind the matrix of beats and enemies and annihilate a cluster of violent algorithms, believe me, you'll feel like a champ. Conquering levels in Bit.Trip feels incredibly satisfying thanks to its unique blend of the wide-knuckle intensity, the eureka moment when you figure it out, and the swell of pride when you fly right through the threshold of hell and make it out without a scratch. Even when you barely hold on and survive by the skin of your teeth, you can and will find genuine satisfaction in knowing you barely made it. It's worth noting that, for several people, the series can be too challenging in the later levels, and I feel like I would be a jackass to dismiss an entire side of the audience that, for acceptable reasons, don't want to feel frustrated with a video game. While I cannot fully recommend to tone down the difficulty, as I feel it would take away from some of the satisfaction, I can offer the advice to try your best and stick with it. You may be surprised with what you can accomplish with the right kinds of patience and practice. It would be a sin to talk about Bit.Trip without mentioning the fantastic audio. The Bit.Trip series is often referred to as a rhythm action game, and while some of the games in this series involve actual rhythm skills more than others, mainly core and runner, it's safe to say that the music plays an enormous role in every game on display. Every tiny accomplishment you create, whether it's bouncing back a single beat, leaping over a chasm, or shooting down an enemy, contributes a single note to the melody. Sounds simple in practice and perhaps a little basic on paper, but this simple touch substantiates ripples of effect to the musical experience. Knocking out difficult sections of the game will generate a chorus of notes and chords to the music and make you feel just as much a part of the soundtrack as the artist who wrote it. Not only that, but chaining together combos and moving up on the score multiplier adds layers upon layers of instruments to the already active beat. Effects like these give you valid encouragement to continue and try your best and keep the momentum of success moving and moving. On the flip side, missing too many beats and falling into the nether mode removes the audio and most of the visuals, leaving you with a retro black and white feeling of disappointment. Moments in the nether are desperate, and the lack of audio encouragement drives home the dread of losing the game and your progress. Crawling your way out of this mode and having the game's music whip right back into place really washes over a feeling of relief and the motivation to continue holding on. Game soundtracks are meant to help back the emotion a player sees and feels on the big screen, and the developers of Bit.Trip accomplished this in spades. It's also worth noting that every game in the series has a slightly different feel to the soundtrack that's unique to the experience it provides. For instance, while the music in core is very mechanical and contains strong downbeats to emphasize rhythm, the music in Runner is lighthearted and joyous, effortlessly mirroring the feeling of jumping and sliding around. During Fate, a game with a more serious tone, the music is dark and angry. While Flux is more scenic and hypnotic to match the atmosphere. It's these tiny changes of emphasis that can really help force the idea that the games are new and separate experiences, and not just a lazy retooling of a previous idea. Now then, the real question for you. Is this game worth your time and money? Personally, my experience with the Bit.Trip series is upon one of my favorites as a gamer, which is why I can gush about how much love I have for it. Given the simplicity of the gameplay and execution, it's worth noting how much emotion can emanate from something that doesn't spend time focusing on telling you what to feel. These collections of games will make you feel triumphant for an instant and then force you into a panic. They will make you proud for accomplishment and make you tremble about what will come next. You may even dive into a hypnotic stage, and having your hands move for you while your brain tries to process what it's even doing is something worth experiencing in its own right. Should you play this game? Absolutely. The unique and creative gameplay splashed over the excellent music is worth plenty of your time. Do yourself a favor and get hands-on with the series. Thanks for watching this review from GameAway. If you still are here and you haven't gouged your ears out, then you're on your way to becoming a fan, so you can click the left and right boxes for more content. We usually do Let's Plays, and every once in a while we'll pop in with a review. If you want to stay updated on those videos, you might as well just click the subscribe button and get it over with now, or we will find you. We are terribly vicious people.